Mark finishes 1-1 and winning on penalties. Entertaining penalty shootout. Just give us your thoughts on the game overall.
I really enjoyed the game, actually. Yeah, I thought it was probably lots of what we thought it would be. We had a period after we scored where we might have made a bit more of, and we started the second half really well. And we have the chance. Joe Bode whistles one past the post. Jack Nolan whistles one past the post. Somehow Connor's header hasn't gone in and whistled past the post. And then we sort of gift them a moment that Dan Kemp's not going to pass that one up when you give him it. So we had chances to go 2 up actually, and get ourselves to that position in the game that might have seen us through. Being truthful, that wasn't probably the priority tonight. It was definitely the ambition, but the priority tonight, as you can see, was play. Some of the boys that didn't play haven't played, certainly at the front end of the pitch. Stick with a shape we've worked a little bit on in the last couple of games and give a few other players a chance to play in it. And they had a changed side as well, but made some really strong changes in the second half. So I actually enjoyed quite a bit of the game. I thought the difference between good bits and bad bits in the game was too big, and there was a bit of inconsistent streak through the game. But there's certainly some of the individuals in it have done themselves a good favour tonight. I thought there was 2 or 3 really good performances, which I'm really happy with. And off the back of a good result of the weekend, that's not the worst result really. It just feels like a little bit of momentum can just keep building, and a worthwhile game for everybody really, I think.
Including Josh Andrews, who of course scored. How big a boost would that be for him? Of course he's had his fitness problems, but to see him back out there and scoring must be really pleased for him.
Really pleased for him, but not really putting too much pressure on the next part, or like we just see how he copes. Like we can't assume, oh, that's him now, he's back, like, because he isn't. But it's a good night to just get 45 minutes. I think he could probably have gone back and gone out for a little bit longer, but we're not into taking that risk at all. He played well. He's worked really hard in the last few weeks in the moments that he's trained. His goal was brilliant. It was a heck of a finish. Really, really good goal. So I was really pleased for him. It's a big one for him, really. And obviously, if we can continually build him up and have him available, he's a good option for us. I thought he did a really good job and looked a good impact for us Saturday when he came on, and had a good 45 minutes tonight.
Finally from me, you've given a young man his debut tonight. Stan Sargent took a penalty as well and took it very, very well. How pleasing is it as a manager to give someone their debut? It must always be special, for the player of course, but for you as well.
Yeah, it's the best part of the job because you get to see how much it means to people. They love it. He's absolutely buzzing. And as soon as I walked on the pitch, I said, fancy a penalty? And he was like, I would love to take one. So we were like, right, you're in it, let's go. So nice. And I'm sure he'll play in penalty shootouts where there's a bit more riding on it and a bit more pressure on it, but he took that nicely. So it's nice for him. It's nice for the boys in the youth team and the academy staff, because they're the ones that work with them. And it's nice for him and his family because they work hard to get there. And he's got a big game next Tuesday in the Youth Cup, which is a proper competition. So any Gills fans watching this, come and support them boys next Tuesday, because we want a crowd. We want the boys to play in front of a few people. So yeah, get yourself along and support them, and you can see him and a few of the others that are doing quite well. But nice little one to top the evening off as well for him to get that.
Yeah, you sold that game better than I could have done. So Matt, all yours.
Back to Josh Andrews just for a second, if I may. I mean, a hint of what's to come from him, and when he gets fit, if he stays fit, how good he could be for you?
Yeah, it is, but I think people know what he can do. He's just been unable to do it for a long period of time. So we've changed how we're doing things with him and adjusted things, and that's just another step along the way to try and get him back contributing to games. And I think there were moments of that were good tonight, but you can't get away from the fact there's a difference in the intensity sometimes from these nights to a league game and so on. But that's just another nice step for him and a really well-timed game, because we're not protecting him tonight from anything at the weekend to keep him safe. So tonight, the way the fixtures have fallen, that works really kindly for us. I think if we had a game Saturday, we probably wouldn't even have involved him tonight. But it just helps us plan a little bit and get a little bit of work into him. So hopefully he comes through that okay. And maybe Friday, Saturday, we can get him back on the grass.
Feels a bit like Joe Bode's come of age in this competition, his first appearance in the first game, and it's showing, I think, Gills fans things they hadn't seen from him before, perhaps didn't realise that he was capable of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know obviously what he's got is a physicality to his game. He has to bring that. He's a running player and he has to bring that to the game. He had more moments in the second half where he did that well. Had a good chance that went just past the post. So I think traditionally he'd say he's a striker, and we've sort of had him play as a wide player a lot this season in a different system. But I think if you're a young forward with a brain, and some potential, you should be able to do both, and that's what we're trying to help him with.
And overall, you've matched a League One side here. You've both made changes to your team, which are essential for both of you to get minutes into the legs. I mean, how pleasing is that just overall as an event?
Yeah, like I said, there were bits of it I really liked, and then there were pockets of the game I just thought, oh, that's horrible. Why are we accepting that from each other? And I thought our intensity was better second half. We had moments in the first. In fairness, in the early part, what you do get on these nights is it is hard to get too horny for these games because there's nobody here. Sorry, it's hard to get too excited for these games because there's nobody here, and it's difficult to really rally yourself. It's not the same intensity as Saturday, so it never will look and feel exactly the same. Plus, you throw lots of players in that maybe haven't played so much or are playing in a new system and a new way. So, like, the bar of my expectation of them is really high, and sometimes that's tough to ask. But actually, at the same time, it's just what we expect. If you want to take someone's shirt who played on Saturday, you've got to outperform them tonight in your game because that's the only game you've got to do it in. So there were parts of it that I liked, parts of it that were a little bit more difficult. But I do think over the course of the season, our cup competitions have seen us drawn against Swansea. Obviously, that became really difficult when we went down to 10. Blackpool in the FA Cup, Stevenage and Peterborough in this competition, even going back to the very first games of pre-season, Millwall, Watford. I think we've equipped ourselves really well against those sides and had moments in the game where we've looked a good team. So we can actually, despite the results not always being the right way for us, I think we can take quite a lot from all of those games that we've played. And in the end, when we play the games that really matter, that we've got to get results from, hopefully nights like this help us just become the team we want to be.
The next 10 days, how do you move things along to prepare yourselves for Harrogate and for, I suppose, for fixtures to come as well?
Yeah, so boys will be off tomorrow. We'll train Thursday, Friday. Everyone's got a weekend off, which is awesome. It's been a really, really tough spell for us, I think. Like not just like number of games, but there's been so many challenges thrown our way. It's been tough for everybody, and the pressure built a little bit over that time. So it's quite a relaxing one to just be able to go have a Saturday and watch Soccer Saturday or whatever you want to do with your weekend, and then next week we'll have a full week going into Harrogate. So hopefully the break serves us well, and we can get a little bit of good work done throughout the week. Those that are training and building up, they can get some good sessions in over the next period of time. But I think everyone will enjoy, when we leave the training ground Friday, not seeing each other for a couple of days. That'd be nice.
And all the better after Saturday and this game as well, in terms of performances?
Yeah, I think so, and I think the Blackpool game was a really strong, solid performance for us, and the outcome of the Swindon game was a kick in the whatsits, but at the same time we took ourselves out of a run of defeats with that. So the games being a little bit more spread out and us getting a half decent performances and results probably just makes us feel good about ourselves for a little bit, which isn't a bad thing.
And just a question about Kenny Jackett. Obviously, we know he stepped down as a director of football, and obviously our best wishes go to him. But tell us about Kenny as a man, and perhaps what you'll miss as well. Yeah,
look, I think I would want to say is the same things that were in the statement. I personally loved working with him. He was brilliant for me, and really good for the club in the time that he's been here. So I'll miss that because he's got a bags of experience, but he'll still be on the phone for me as well, which is really important. And we wish him well. Obviously the club do, we do, everybody has said that. So I think that's the most important thing to say. I think speaking beyond that probably goes beyond the bit of asking to just the little bit of privacy in certain areas. So love the bloke, brilliant for me, really good to me, and we wish him every success.
People were calling this the Ashby Hammond Derby or something like that. It was quite nice to see two brothers in opposite ends of goals.
Be a quiz question that in the future, I think, and I'm not sure if anyone will know the answer. We were saying we reckon if any statos could tell us, definitely brothers have played against each other loads of times. But I bet it's the first time ever in world football, huge statement, that has happened with two goalkeepers on the opposite side. So yeah, nice. When he knew yesterday, obviously he was playing, and he said, "Oh, my brother's playing as well." So I think they were buzzing. I don't think they told each other anything else about the game and the game plan for either team, but they both knew they were playing. So I'm sure for them and the family, it was quite nice.
It must be nice as a manager to give someone that kind of pleasure, isn't it, as a player? Because I mean, they must have been buzzing tonight.
Yeah, look, you don't get to give players that much pleasure very often. You usually upset most of them, and and that's just the reality. But yeah, we did the right thing by the players that did play tonight. I think if we'd have probably had a few more options deeper in the pitch, we'd have not probably paid Connor for 90 minutes and Shad for 90 minutes. Max and Hutz obviously split the game. Josh we'd planned for 45, and the rest of them, a lot of them needed big minutes. I think tonight was really well timed for Ethan Coleman, with having missed a couple of games. Max Clark was suspended and then didn't play against Blackpool, so again, some of them were quite safe to go and play tonight, and it probably fell quite well for quite a few of them.
Did you enjoy the penalty shootout?
No, I didn't really. I mean, it's fine, isn't it? It's enjoyable to watch. I'm gutted that we didn't do it at that end, so our supporters could see a little bit of action. Like it was fine when it was just irrelevant. It was a bit of a strange one. You probably could have called that tonight, but yeah, another quirky rule in this competition.
5 out of 5 though for the penalties.
Yeah,
that's
solid,
not bad, is it?
Calm. Let's see when it matters if they've got that composure.
And you touched on the Youth Cup game as well. I think it's next Tuesday, isn't it? Mark Moss's team. Good one for the youth players, isn't it?
Really good one for the youth team, and like, I think it's a brilliant competition. Everybody loves it, so I'm sure the boys are looking forward to it again, and hopefully we can get a few behind them to get the atmosphere in the ground, and I think people will really enjoy watching it because they're special nights, the Youth Cup, and the lads will be buzzing for it. So we're looking forward to seeing it.
Because you had the young defender here as well, didn't you, travelling with the team as well?
Yeah, Logan Dobbs was with us tonight. There's a lot of those boys train with us quite regularly. There's a few of them that are in and around training sessions, which is good. We train with big numbers, and it's good for them to experience that and see that. And hopefully they can learn lessons and see how we're doing things and have a little bit of an insight into the team and the group they're trying to get into, so when they go back and train and play with their own team, they try and set the standard and pass that on to people.
And finally, Saturday for you, is it Soccer Saturday as well for you, or are you out and about?
Maybe out and about. There's a few games on this weekend, so potentially go and watch one, or I might really treat myself and have a Saturday off as well, so we'll see.
Nice one. Well done.
Thank you.